Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. That's an honor to be here and have you all guys picking my presentation to talk about sensitive data at Natura. My name is Daniel Goldschmidt. My folks call me Gold. I'm data architect at Natura. Natura is a multinational B Corp cosmetic company. Being well-being is our guiding principle to deliver positive impact on the planet and everyone surround us. In order to democratize data, my leadership, my senior manager, my director, and the teams of data architecture team structure our working model with the federated hub-spoke federated model, where we can leverage governance and agility to the business units, acting as a spoke. The HR department was looking for a easy and automatically way how to integrate their data from their systems, such as Workday, ADP, and Qualtrics, into their business intelligence tools, so that they could have faster and more actionable business insights. And also building up the foundations for adoption of AI. One of the biggest concerns the HR department had was how to deal with the company's Natura sensitive data. And they came to the Data Hub department to address that issue. And that request also includes that the Databricks administrators could leverage the governance of the environment. They could organize everything inside Databricks, but they don't own the data. They own the environment. So talking about Databricks administrators, what are the types of Databricks administrators and who are them? There are three types of Databricks administrator. The first one is account console admin, and then unit catalog admin, and then workspace admin. Account console is a web-based interface where the administrators manage all the aspects of the account, Databricks account. So I'm highlighting here the most important features that are related to security. The account admin manage users, groups, and service principals. In our case, we have integrated the single sign-on solution with Azure AD as identity provider. And also we have done the synchronization between the groups from AD to the groups on Databricks. But the account console administrator via API are able to add users on a group, even though the user doesn't belong to the group in AD. The administrator also can create workspaces, and for each workspace, it can flag who is gonna be the administrators for that workspace, and also they can enable features like enable Met stores, unit catalog Met store, and pick one administrator. Is either a single user or a single group. Moving on for the unit catalog. Unit catalog is a Databricks management solution that centralizes access control, data lineage, data discoverability, and audit as well. On this picture, we have the structure of all the objects that the administrator, the unit catalog UC administrator, can grant or revoke permissions. The workspace is a web-based interface where the users work in a collaborative way with data, building their pipelines, with their notebooks and jobs, and so on, using SQL warehouses to export data. And I'm super highlighting here the secret scope, which is the vault for the Databricks. I'm highlighting it because the secret scope where we're gonna store the keys to unencrypt the data at runtime during the query execution. So the workspace administrator can grant access control lists for a group. In this case, we're granting permissions for the people analytics group to have permissions to retrieve the key from the secret scope. So the Databricks intelligent data platform provides out-of-the-box 3 sets of things that help us to address the security and governance, which are the hierarchical permission on the Metastore, dynamic views, and column masking. In this example, I've took a snapshot of the UI that all the permissions that we can grant or revoke for a principal. The principal can be either user, service principal, or group. And this is the permissions that we can do on the table, which is the bottom level of the hierarchy that we have seen before. This is a snapshot from the UI for the schema, and all the permissions that we can grant or revoke for a schema. Note that some permissions are exclusively to the schema, like use schema. Other permissions are related to the bottom level of object of the hierarchy, like select. And then the last one on the hierarchy is the catalog. If you grant permission to select on the catalog, all the tables that the principal will have permission will be able to query that. And then moving on, the dynamic views is a way to control logic to display the data. You can hide columns or create columns or create a logic to show the data for a certain group of users. Leverage the built-in functions that are written in Scala that is super fast, doesn't do serialization, deserialization issues with Python UDFs. And then we can use is member of a group or is account group member of auditor on this example. If the current user is a member of the auditor group, it will read the emails on the column emails. Otherwise, it's gonna see the text redacted. So the issue of this approach is that you're gonna have to manage 2 sets of objects permission, the table itself and the dynamic view. So Databricks enhance this idea and use these ideas to use UDF functions to apply for output of the query. So in here, it's creating a SQL UDF, which is SSN mask that receives a string as an input, and then checks whether the current user is a human resource department, belongs to the group user resource department. If the case is true, it's gonna retrieve the social security number, SSN, otherwise it's gonna be ****. There are, basically, you change the data definition for the table. There are 2 ways to do that, either upon the creation of the table, or with the example here that we just create a table and says SSN string, mask, and then the function that we have just created. And the other way, we can alter the table and set the masking function. So building all the solution and get everything that we have, the sensitive data is stored at rest on S3. It is going to be encrypted field by field. We're going to leverage a access control list for the secret scope where we store the keys to encrypt the data at runtime. Only authorized people will be able to query the tables that has sensitive data. And as an extra layer of protection, as I mentioned before, account console administrator are able to add a person or a user in a group in a diverted way. So we are creating a whitelist table that will have the authorized users, and then we query these authorized users and check with the UDF function current user. If the current user belongs on the table, we create a UDF that if it creates, returns true, otherwise returns false. So it has to double check the logic that belongs to a group and also belongs to the whitelist table. And then we leverage column masking functions that Databricks has provided out of the box for us. And then just to have a better picture, this is the whitelist table that I just mentioned, where we're gonna insert all the users, and we're gonna grant permissions for only few people that can insert, delete, or update users on the whitelist table. And also each table, each sensitive data table that has sensitive data will have the column masking functions. The only authorized people will have granting permissions to select on this table. We know that this mechanism can be broken, but thanks for the audit system that Databricks provides, we can check if the mechanism that we have built to protect the sensitive data has been broken. Either creating alerts on several actions, either if a UDF function has been changed, or if someone has granted permission in a diverted way, or if someone tries to retrieve the key from secret scope that shouldn't retrieve. And basically there are several things that we can do as alert to make sure the mechanism is saved. And finally, this is our Natura's overview architecture. I'm illustrating how Workday out of the box saves the data, export the data to S3. The data will be encrypted with PGP algorithm, which is an asymmetric algorithm, so that we have the public key in Workday and the private key to unencrypt the data will be stored on Secret Manager. And as soon as the file lands on S3, it triggers a Lambda. And that Lambda at runtime will store the key from the Secret Manager, unencrypt the data, and encrypt it field by field, retrieving other key from another Secret Manager key, and encrypt build by field at rest on another bucket. And then we have our regular way to do our medallion architecture, bronze, silver, and gold, to build the HR products. And that's it. I'm super thankful for you guys to be here. That's my very presentation. I'm super happy to share our Natura's strategy, how we are dealing with security for sensitive data. And If you like, you can talk any further questions off the stage. Thank you so much.